Oops. Yeah, we're live. Alright. Live for the second time. Hi, guys. No one's in here yet, so we'll just wait for a couple people to get in here. I hope settings are all okay. Yeah, so in the meantime, while I'm waiting for people to join in, I'll just fiddle with the settings some more. So I'll pay attention to both of these things, so I see when people show up and when we have some more watchers here. Right. So what I'm doing right now is just trying to fix this so it's not that it doesn't have these black bars around it anymore. For anyone watching or anyone joining right now, just testing some more settings. But the mic should be good. Picking up nicely. Device. That one. Okay. Nice. We have people in here. Awesome. Hey guys. I'm just testing some settings here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Welcome to the live stream. I'm just trying to get these black bars here on the side to get rid of them, but I don't know how. So we'll just have a look here. See if I can fix this during the middle of the stream. Otherwise, I'll look into it for next week. So, but if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, you'll get to see me fiddle around with these things for just a little bit. I'll just try some more things out before I start talking about some other things here. Yeah, or if you guys have any ideas, just let me know on how to fix this. I'm pretty new to this whole live streaming thing, and I just got a new camera for this stuff, so yeah. Well, we'll wait some more people to get in here, I guess. But I think I'll have to read up on this a bit more. Oh, hey, Beryl. How are you? You were here last week. Glad to see you again. Yeah, we have 2 people in here now, so if you guys have questions, now's your chance. You won't get any better than this unless you do one-on-one with me. This is now 1-on-2. Let me see if I can make my chat here a little bit bigger. Hopefully that'll help. Yeah, otherwise I think I will just talk about... There you go. Okay. Sorry for that, now I'm back. Okay. Made the chat a bit bigger. Okay, now it's way too big. 1 second. Still setting up. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Hi. It's been a week. I hope you guys enjoyed the last live stream for whoever's in here. I'm kind of hiding how many people are in here right now, so I don't know. But yeah, ask your questions. Is the quality as bad for you as it is for me? It seems pretty bad. Let me know about the quality, guys. Seems a bit off. Oh yeah, Beryl asked in the meantime though, while you guys tell me that, glad to see you also. I'd appreciate if some tips on how to go through a very busy week while trying to do side work. So tips for not burning out. Okay, sure. The main tips are that you get even busier. And I know this sounds counterproductive, but what happens when you leave yourself a lot of time is you waste a lot of time. And you find that when you actually do stuff, you get exhausted, but you don't necessarily burn out. Burnout often happens when you think a lot of negative stuff at work, when you run around a lot and don't really get to do what you want to do. Burnout is more of a feeling of being overwhelmed by what's being put on you than what you put on yourself. So what that means is if you have a full schedule, if you get really, really busy, you're setting your own course. You're controlling that time. And I'm not saying getting busy with more work. I'm saying getting busy with some awesome things to do, with some enjoyable tasks, maybe some relaxing stuff as well. But just keeping busy. Because so when you're trying to do side work, getting that sorted out, but also planning some time for yourself every day, no matter how busy you are. You need some time in between there. It's about making your entire day balanced instead of making the course of the week balanced or the course of the month balanced or the course of the year balanced. You want to make every day juicy. Have every day be something you look forward to. Have every day be exciting. And I know a lot of you, work 9-to-5 jobs, and that's pretty hard because often, you want to think, oh, I want to leave, or oh, let me get out of here, or you think about all the stuff you still have to do when you get home from work. But still, when you get home, allow yourself an hour of free time. Just an hour. An hour is not going to kill anything. Go longer if you need to afterwards, but just make it balanced and plan that time in advance. I think we talked about this last week as well. But the busier you get, the more of a control you have, and then the more you can adjust things. But right now, I'm guessing, Beryl, you probably don't have much clue on how you're exactly spending your time. When you're at work, you might know how much you're working out, but what are you spending your time on at home? How much time are you spending on these tasks? When are you spending that time on these tasks? Do you know that? And if you don't know that, then it's about time you just planned it out a little bit more in advance so you get to know yourself. Now, you may need more time to relax than I will. Or you may need to relax less than I do. I don't know. But you don't know that either right now. So when you're saying tips to avoiding burnout, you kind of want to find your balance there. You want to find the thing that works for you, much like how long you need to sleep every night. And that can only be done once you really get a control of your plan and go into it. So I hope that answers it a little bit. Basically what I do, maybe as a little bit of a guideline, is I look at the beginning of I look 2 days in advance to schedule my next day, and then I make sure I get excited about every day. Every evening I look at my goals and I look at my plan and I see, yep, that's the plan for tomorrow. Let's get pumped up about that. Now, that worked really well for me when I did that. I've been falling off a little bit, to be honest, but there's a lot of other stuff. Sometimes that doesn't work so well because you have to always put some more immediate stuff in that plan, but try it. Try it for now and see if you get a better handle on your time. And then once you get accustomed to this plan, to the schedule, it's easier to fit in a busy week as well. You're able to just to plan it out better because you're more aware of how long it takes you to do certain things, how much time you need for yourself, how much time you need for other tasks, and then you're less likely to burn out overall just because you have more time to relax because you planned your time more efficiently. And I know that's a bit of a struggle for most people to plan their time very effectively because it seems very restricting. But as I said, this is not about getting super busy and doing a lot of busy work. It's just about getting busy in your life, always having something to do. And so you're not overwhelmed by the things that are coming, like that other sources give you. So when there's a birthday party, when your family says they want to meet you, or when some other events are going on, you already have stuff to do, you can move stuff around, and if you can't move stuff around, you at least have a reason to say no. So I hope that gave you some tips here. I'll really quickly We'll check if we can get some more people in here. Still have 2 people. So let me just write something here. Totally resonates. Awesome. Glad that really resonates with you, Beryl. Sorry, the text is over here, so if I'm talking to you while looking over here, talking to you, but I can see your messages over here, so that's just a little reason why. Also, if there's anything wrong with the settings, you know, with the camera, I think the lighting is a bit better today because I removed the background, but let me know. I'm trying to, you know, make it a bit clearer image, get a bit clearer sound, and whatever I can do to improve that, let me know, because I don't have all the time in the world to look at that stuff. So if you guys have anything for me to change right now, let me know. Also, your questions, just lay them on. You don't always have to just ask one question and then wait for me to answer. There's only 2 people in here, so just lay it on and I'll see when I can get to which question. Otherwise, if you guys don't have any questions, I'll just talk about some stuff that I want to talk about. And that may or may not be of value to you, but I hope it will. And that's basically stuff from Quora, stuff that inspired me from there. Let me read that really quick. Okay. So, something that I want to talk about, because this was still a topic last week, and last week I got a lot of questions from you guys, so I didn't get much chance to get into it too much, is this motivation thing. There's a lot of people asking about, one second, there's a lot of people asking about motivation, what it takes to be motivated, and why you can't do stuff when you're not motivated. And I just want to talk about that a little bit more because it's very, very important to me, and because this week I answered a lot of questions on it. So I want to make some things clear. The first thing I want to make clear is that you always have a choice. There's always something you can do. If you're not happy with your life, you're choosing to stay in that life. Whether or not you have the motivation to do it doesn't matter at this point. You're staying to do this. You'll always have a choice, and you're always making a choice. Now, motivation only comes in to get you started on things. It's not the thing that keeps you going. It's not a feeling that you need to keep going on what you're doing. It just starts you out. I mean, think about the last time you were really motivated to do something. Most likely, that didn't last that long. You were motivated at the beginning, and then you just did the task. Most likely because you didn't choose not to do it. The double negative here. Because you didn't choose to do it, but you didn't choose not to do it either. You just kept doing it, which was a subconscious choice. So I want you guys to get away from this whole idea that you need motivation, or that you need to be able to choose it all, or that you need to choose what you want to do all the time, because you are free to choose even stuff that you don't want to do. Right now, you have choices. You have a lot of different choices. You can do a lot of different things. But it's about you to choose that, even if you don't feel like it. Sometimes the best thing is not always the nicest thing. Just remember that. That's something I really wanted to emphasize. I think we talked about this last week as well, but I just wanted to, to give you guys a bit more on that. And I just really wanted to emphasize it. Other than that, something that also in terms of motivation gets asked of me a lot is starting over. How do you start over? How do you really, how do you begin again? When your life is down to crapper, how do you start over? How do you get up on a clean slate? And the truth is, you never have a clean slate. No matter what, there's always something going on. You're someone. You can't start over clean, because that would mean you have to remove everything about yourself. And that's very difficult. You can remove a lot of things, but at the end of it all, you're still you, whatever that means. So don't try to start over completely, because it'll never happen. Instead, try to start again. Try to start once more. So when I'm saying start again, I mean how would you go about starting again from where you are right now? Not starting over from zero, but from where you are, how would you start again? What would you do if you had to start over in that case, or start again? What are the things you would do differently? And then just do those things. And if you don't know, then look it up. There's so many successful people in all kinds of life, in all walks of life, that were asked, how would you start? Or how would you start over? Or what would you do differently? Listen to them. I know most of the time it's some bullshit advice, but for them that was a big problem. Otherwise they wouldn't have said it. Don't try to start over. You already have a lot of valuable information. You already have a lot of skills. But look at what you need to start again, to start better, to start more effectively. And then remove everything you can. But don't count on you being able to remove everything. You can do that. You can start over almost completely, but that means you're traveling to a different country, never talking to any people you know again, and having a new name, a new image, and totally reinventing yourself. And that's a lot more work than it's worth. Okay, so those were my 2 tidbits for now. Ask me questions. Come on, there has to be something more you guys want to know. I know Barrel's in the stream, but I don't know who else is in the stream. I know there's more people here, so just lay it on. What's going on? What do you want to know? I'm here for you guys, not for me to blabber on about stuff. And if it's just 2 of you, great, awesome. Then get your value here. Otherwise, I'm going to be busy trying to get some more people in here. So you guys will just see me looking over this way and not doing much. Your choice. I'll just blabber on a little bit here. But I guess at the same time I want to put this on YouTube, so I guess I should talk a bit for those of you on YouTube. So you know what? Let's just do it this way. I'm just going to go through my Quora stuff and answer some questions that I will probably not get a chance to answer in message. Some things that I really like, or some questions that really inspire me that I'm just seeing here. So let me go to my requests here. All right, so we're just going to go with something here. Let's pick one. Okay, here's a good one. This one is from Annie Root. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And that's, how much time should I spend doing and how much time should I spend planning and organizing? So when you're planning, and I think this relates a little bit to what you said earlier, Beryl, it's about doing more than you're planning. Planning should only assist you in doing. It shouldn't be the one I'll do all. One second. Okay. So when you're planning, and for Beryl, like I said, this goes for you too, when you're planning your day out, when you're scheduling, and when you're very busy, it should only help you. If the plan is stressful, then don't plan. Don't organize. Just let things come. Sometimes that's also what works really well. But you have to see, you have to look at what works best for you. What, you know, sometimes one thing works best and the other time something completely different works well. But this is up to you. So you have to check this. The point is, if you plan all the time and never do anything, you're never going to get anything done. I would say I plan about half an hour a day. That's it. All the other time I work and I do stuff. So that's way more important. That's something that, yeah, it just gets more stuff done. Planning is only a tool. A lot of people get lost in the plans and end up doing more planning than actual work and spend time on the best laid plans, on being like having it all laid out for them. And at the end of the day, they still got nothing done. So I would say if you don't have to plan, don't. If you don't need to plan, then don't plan anything. And just do things. And even if you have no plan about what to do, still do something. There's always something you can do. And we'll go on a different topic from here. A lot of people ask me, like, I don't know what my first step is. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what to do now. And the point isn't that you know exactly what to do. I don't know what to do either. I mean, look at the stream. This has been all over the place already. But I'm still doing it. I'm not like cutting the stream short. I'm not saying, bye guys. You know, I don't know what to talk about, so I'll just cut it short. But I'm still doing something. And if you don't know what to do whatever you know how to do. Don't ask yourself, oh, I don't know what to do, I'll just lean back and not do anything. And instead look, okay, I have no plan on what to do. I don't know. So what can I do right now? And that's a really good question I should be asking myself. I can just talk to you guys. Instead of fiddling so much over here, I should pay attention to the people that are there. A lot of times when I write, this is a little bit of a secret of mine, I should listen to my own advice as well. And that's something really cool about writing and about producing and about giving value, is you learn a lot more than you give. A lot of the times I learn more than I would like to admit, just by the answers I give. So that's something very cool, and that's why I encourage everyone to produce something and put it online. You learn more about yourself than any other way that way. Okay. I guess it's just gonna be the two of you guys, so Beryl and the Lurker, whoever that is. So like I said, Beryl, if you have any questions, let me know. I guess this is a one-on-one session mostly, unless the Lurker there decides to speak up. Well, I'll just talk a bit about positivity, about something that I want to share more of, how to be positive. So just let me know. It's kind of a private session here. Positivity is a good topic. Okay, awesome. Then I'll talk a bit about that. How to be happy, how to be positive. What's the deal with that? You know, everyone wants to know that. How can I be happy? Why am I not happy? And I guess the first point I want to start on is a bit of a curveball here for you guys, and that's the most common belief that people have is that they're happy when X. When I'm moving, I'll finally be happy. When I make more money, I'll finally be happy. When I get that new job, I'll finally be happy. It'll finally fulfill me. When I get a promotion, I'll finally be happy. The self-reflective question you should ask yourself is, how long have you been thinking that? What was the last thing that you said would make you happy once you got it? Because there's been dozens of these things, hundreds of them. You've said this your entire life. And yet, here you are, maybe you're still not happy. The key is not to look on the outside, and you guys all know that. This is nothing new. But yet you still say, once I have this, then from internally, then once this external thing comes in, then I can be happy internally. And that's not the point. If you're not happy now, then do something different. Have a different point of view. And this is where we're getting into the positive side of things. 1 second, Beryl, I saw your question, but let me just finish this point here. The point is, you can always have a different point of view. There's always two sides to a coin. Yin and yang, positive, negative, good and bad, nice and evil. There's always two sides. And your point of view matters a whole lot. For example, let's take this stream. I'll just use this example. There's 2 people in here right now. I can go about all day and be like, oh shit, There's only 2 people. I should be getting more people than that. Why is there nothing to it? Why is this so bad? There's only 2 people here. Yeah, I could go in all the time like that and be pretty negative about it. Or you could look at it from a different point of view. Now, oftentimes you will see that once you recognize that you can have a different point of view, it's easy to find. Based on the stream, I can say, hey, I got 2 people. Appreciate what you have, be grateful for what you have. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just looking at it from a different angle. Try to find another way. Maybe I'm not grateful for these 2 people. Maybe that's something. And no, I am, but for this example, let's just assume that. What would be other positive things? I get to test my stream. I get to practice my speaking skills. I get to talk and make a YouTube video for basically free, for just being here. There's so many different things you can do. But when you're stuck in a negative situation, you're only looking at the negative side of things. And there's always a positive side, even in the worst things. And the best example I have for that is death. When someone dies, someone close to you, maybe your parent, maybe a close friend, it's awful. It sucks. It's a very, very negative event. And you can go and say, I lost someone. And you should. You should grieve. You should look at that. But when it's being too negative, when it's taking away too much, look at it. How else can you view this? And religion is a great way to look at it a different way. If heaven really does exist, if you believe that, then they're definitely in a better place. If heaven is your dreamland, then that place must be freaking awesome. To put it in layman terms, that must be a really amazing place. So why are you sad that they are gone? They're probably having the time of their life right now, honestly speaking. They're in paradise. Or, another religion says that you should look at the life they lived instead. Be happy that you got to meet them. Be happy that you got to share so many experiences with them. That's your point of view. Just because you're looking at it negatively and that's what you believe doesn't mean you have to keep that. Positivity is all about recognizing that you can look at it a different way. Being aware of that choice and then choosing to either look at it positively or negatively. You don't always have to be optimistic and positive. Sometimes it's good to be negative. Like I said in the death example, it's good to grieve. But sometimes it's not. When you're looking around at your workplace and all you see is negative examples and negativity and everyone's depressed and wants to leave and the company is going down the drain and you're negative, you come home negative, you're having negative time with your family and everything just sucks. That's not a good place to be. And you don't have to view it that way. Again, with the motivation example, it was the same thing. You have a choice. But for now, just try to look at some different points of view. That doesn't mean they have to be good or you have to accept them, but just recognize that there are different ways you can look at it. And that you always have a choice in the matter. Okay, now to barrels. I want to know your tips about focusing on positive aspects while we do not ignore our discomfort about the negative. Very good segue on what I just said, so it's good that I kept this for later here. Let's use the death example again. You have to recognize what you really feel. Don't lie to yourself. That's the biggest deal. If you're feeling negative, then adopting a positive point of view is not going to do shit for you. It's just going to mask whatever you feel. And I know you want to do this a lot. Everyone wants to run away from their negative aspects, from the negative events, or from the negative thoughts they have. It's important that you are honest of what's going on. That you're not trying to hide from it. If you're negative, if you're sad about someone passing away, then be sad. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, you don't always have to be positive. Be sad. Grieve. Allow your sadness some room as well. But when you realize that you're not feeling sad anymore, that you don't want to feel sad anymore, not because you're running away, and that takes a lot of self-reflecting and self-awareness to recognize, But when you realize you don't want to feel this way anymore, then it's time you adopt a new point of view. Then it's time you look for some other way to look at it. Now, most of that comes in from daily reflection. You can't do this kind of stuff by just being positive all the time and ignoring the negative and just once in a while looking at what you feel. That doesn't work. Because if you look every once in a while, you look back 10 years and you see, oh crap, there's a lot of negativity that I ignored. Because there will be stuff that you ignore just because you passively do it. You subconsciously do that. That's something that you change over time. But if you really want to be positive without ignoring the negative, then you have to recognize the negative when it comes along. It's also about recognizing the positive things and patting yourself on the back when those come along, but most of it is recognizing the negative things as soon as they show up. When something, and let's go one step more, and the best way to recognize those things is to know your escape mechanisms. We all have different escapes. For example, I escape to watch a lot of YouTube content, and I sometimes escape to gaming, although I'm trying to go down on that. But some other people escape through working out or reading books or other time wasters. And yes, in that case, reading a book is a time waster. So you have to recognize what are your escape mechanisms. And every time you escape, I don't want you to stop escaping, I just want you to recognize why you are escaping. What are you escaping from? What are you running away from right now? So before you go on YouTube, before you game, before you go work out again today, just ask yourself, what are you running away from right now? What discomfort is there that you're not addressing? And most of the time you'll find something. And it's at that point that you go into this and deal with it and then let it go and choose a positive outlook. Now, this is where it gets tricky, and I know I'm saying that a lot, and there's a lot of ifs because it's not that clear. Being positive has a lot of different aspects to it. So when you're running with these negative things, sometimes you realize that you really have to run away. It's too much to handle for you right now, and you just can't deal with it. Okay, that's fine. If that's how you feel, then adopt a positive point of view for now. But know that this negative thing is something you will have to come back to. It doesn't go away on its own. Now, generally speaking, let's generalize this up and make this a bit of a summary more. Generally speaking, in most of your days, these negative things you encounter every day are so minute that they're not even conscious for you. You'll ignore most of the negative things that happen just as you ignore most of the positive things that happen. Most likely because you're distancing yourself from what you feel. Through YouTube, through TV, through video games, through all of these distractions, you're not in touch with what's really going on, so you distance yourself. Now, that being said, most of you want to get back to the positives. But yin and yang, pro and con, if you have to take the positive, you also have to take the negative with you. Just be aware of that. I'm not positive because I ignore my negative stuff. I'm really positive because I take my negative stuff and deal with it and then be done with it so I can be positive again. Think about it this way. Your natural state is one of positivity, one of happiness, one of general joy. And every negative thing that comes up is blocking that. So, how do I best describe it? You're generally positive, but everything weighs down on you. You know, the old baggage analogy, that's something very true. You're being weighed down every time. Actually, you could probably fly, and say you're a bird, you could probably fly, but everything weighs you down. So to fly again, you just have to get rid of the weights. And then you fly again. Being positive is not about just looking at the happy things. It's about just being where you are and not having many negatives. Now, to add to that, you can always look for positive signs. And now we're getting into the real tips. Now we're getting to the real tips here on how to really be positive. Because there are ways to become more aware of this positivity that you have. And that's recognizing the positive things. Just as we recognize the negative things, now we're recognizing the positive things. The best way, the best tip I can give you all on this is at the end of the day, look back on the day and pat yourself on the back. Look at what you've done that was amazing. What was awesome? What did you really crush today? And if you can't find 3 things, then still do some things. Still crush it in an area. Still do a bit more of the work. Still do just 15 more minutes of work or 30 more minutes or whatever would make you feel like you've crushed it in that area today. But even then, just look at 3 things you did that day that you can pat yourself on the back on, or that you think you did really well upon. And that will let you recognize these things more as time passes. Remember, right now, to be positive, we're only trying to raise your awareness about the positive things that happen in your life and the negatives, so that you can deal with both of them. It's not about only getting rid of the negatives, and it's not only about adding the positives. It's about doing both. Everything in life is gray. There is no black, there is no white, it's both. Remember that. So, look at the positive things. Celebrate. Lean back in your chair and really say, you know what? I crushed it. I really did awesome today. This was great. You're awesome. You're amazing. Oh. Yeah, I really did. You know what? I really did crush it. I'm really proud of myself for that. Feels nice. And recognizing those things as soon as they happen will be even better. But that's an awareness thing, and you'll get there. You'll get there. But for now, at the end of the day, just look back at the day and look what you really crushed on. And don't leave it with, yeah, I did a nice job. That was okay. Because that's not real. That's numbing yourself again to these positive things that happen. If you did something positive, then say, you know what, that was positive. That was good. It was really good that you did this. You did something great. If you even got through the day, that's something to be proud of. You got through another 8 hours of work. You did good. You did a lot of work today. Be proud of that. Don't just ignore it. Don't just let it fall to the wayside and then only pay attention to all the negatives in your life and go right back to this negative thinking. Instead, look at the positive things and be proud of that. Another thing to do is to just ask yourself, what is awesome in your life right now? Again, bringing more awareness to the positive things. You can choose to bring awareness too. And positive things don't have to happen randomly. You can also say, you know what, right now I'm choosing to be positive. So look into that. You know, what are the things that make your life amazing right now? And don't say, oh, there is nothing, my life is just shitty, I hate my life. There's always something good. But instead of asking yourself, you know, what makes my life not good, ask yourself, what makes my life good? What really does add positive things to my life? What's really good about it? What's really the kicker here? What's awesome? What am I proud of? What am I happy for? And don't leave until you find some things that make you feel something positive. Do these things every single day. And again, we're bringing awareness to the positive things. We're trying to make you more aware of everything that happens, instead of you going around numbing yourself to whatever is going on outside and watching videos all the time and trying to distract yourself from what's really happening inside yourself. Being positive is just recognizing the amazing things. I get to sit here on the couch talking to you. I get to do this for a living. I get to do this because I want to. I get to do this at any time I want to do that. That's awesome. I love that. And that's something really small. I love that I have food in my kitchen right now that's prepared. I love that I have internet. I love that I have lights. I love that it's warm, so warm that I'm sweating a little bit right here. I love these things. They're really great things. And that brings me to my favorite point about how to be positive. And that's getting excited about these things. As you've recognized, as I kept talking about these things, I got more and more excited. I got louder. I talked a bit more with you guys. I should have done that prior to the stream, but now I'm really excited. There's so many great things in life. There's so many amazing things that happen. And just be excited. Look, the best people you can learn from are the masters at excitement, at positivity, at being happy. And those masters are children. And when you look at children, they're overly excited about everything. So much so that you laugh in disbelief sometimes when you see those kids. How can they be excited about that? That's stupid. Which is just you trying to avoid the discomfort that you're not like them and you are a little bit jealous in those moments. But learn from them. Learn from children. I mean, try to remember Christmas morning when you were 6 years old. Try to remember that feeling, or try to remember an amazing birthday you've had. How excited you were. Even the night before already, you couldn't go to sleep. You got presents. Or something amazing happened. Maybe you didn't get that many presents. But try to remember something that you were really excited for. Maybe a new game that came out. Maybe a movie. Maybe a date with a girl or a guy. Something that really excited you. And think about that feeling again. How giddy you were. How, like, you jumped up in your chair. How you turned in bed all the time. How you couldn't go to sleep. And how when that morning came up, you were so ready, you were so happy, and everything was just good. That's excitement for you. When you're excited about things, everything's just awesome. Because when you're excited, you forget about all this chitter-chatter in your head. You're so on focus on this thing that excites you that these negative thoughts don't even have any room. They're just gone. You're not thinking at that moment. You're so excited, you're so alert that you're taking the moments for what it is. And that allows you to drop the weights, all of those things you're carrying, even for just a moment, and fly. It allows you to be the positive and joyful self that's underneath all of this negative bullshit that you're carrying around with you. So my favorite tip is to learn to be excitable again. Learn to be overly excited about everything. You will seem like a child. You will seem very childish to your friends, very immature to some people, but who gives a shit? You're excited, you're happy, you're energetic, and you're getting everything out of life that you can. I love people that are excited because those are the people that really appreciate the life they have. So my challenge for anyone watching this stream right now, and for anyone watching this in the future, if you're watching this right now, this is my challenge to you. Be overly excited the next time you have dinner in a restaurant, or lunch in a restaurant, for all I care. The next time you're in a restaurant waiting for your food to come, be so excited, or be as excited as you were Christmas morning, as you were when you were a little kid and something really amazing happened. Be that excited. I want you to be in your chair with knife and fork in hand and just bouncing up and down, just being, my food's coming, yeah, I'm so hungry, oh my gosh, it's so awesome, I ordered something great, oh, I'm so excited to finally eat, this is so amazing, oh, can't wait. And if you are vocal, then be vocal about it, be excited. Your friends or whoever you're eating with will look at you in disbelief, but this gets you to really practice it. And that's a challenge, because it's uncomfortable to do the first time, it's very nerve-wracking, but the more excited you fake to be, and the more excited you try to be, the more excited you are about everything, and the more you allow yourself to be positive. Because often, you realize that you're just not, you're not negative because you're a negative person. You're not negative because there's too much going on. You're negative because you're not allowing yourself to be positive, because you are focusing on the negative things, because you're paying more attention to the bad things that happen. Even though you're most of the time a happy person, and if all of these negative things wouldn't happen, you would be positive. And now we're coming full circle again to a point I made earlier about people looking to be happy when they have something specific. You're not going to get happy when you get that new job. You're not going to get happy when you move to that new place. You're not going to be happy when the girl of your dreams falls in love with you, or when you get the guy you've always dreamed of having. You're not going to be happy when you have all that money. You're not going to be happy when you get something more. Because the only reason you're unhappy right now is because you're carrying too much bullshit. Because you're thinking about too many negative things. It's not because your negative outweighs the positive. Just because the negative blocks all the positivity. It's on top of the positivity. And adding more positive things on that will not get rid of this negativity that's on top of that. Negativity is always on top, positivity is always at the bottom. To get to that positivity, you always go from top to bottom. You have to remove these negative layers. Going from bottom up is difficult. That's internal work. That's knowing you're happy and then getting rid of one negative block at a time. I hope this all made sense. Okay, we have some more people talking here in the chat. So Beryl, you said you're just to the point again. I escape from my difficult feelings. I like hearing your talk on that because it helps me to realize things that even I'm not aware of totally. And that's okay. That's great, Beryl. You don't have to be aware of everything. It's a process. I'm not aware of everything either. I'm pretty aware, I'd have to say. Or I'd like to think, because I'm a pretty positive person, but it doesn't mean I'm aware of everything. We're all still working on these things. Everyone is. And there are some things that just sneak in, even if you're the most positive person on the planet. There's some negative things that just find their way in, and that you might not realize for a couple years. And that's okay. You don't have to be perfect right away. Just do whatever you can. And Byman, I hope I'm saying that right. It looks like Simon with a B, so that's just, if I'm not pronouncing it right, let me know. But Byman, you're in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Do you know the General Andreas Dietrich? No, I do not. Never heard of him. He's a leader. What about him? Probably you mentioned him for some reason. So let me know. What's going on there? Beryl, perfect. This is the greatest YouTube life. Wow. Thank you so much for the comment. If you really like it, tell your friends about it. Tell people about it, seriously, because I would love to get more people in here. The reason I'm doing this is for all of you guys. And if we get more people in here, if we really get a community going, if I don't have to, look for questions to answer, I think this will be a lot more valuable to everyone, even to you. Right now you're getting this one-on-one thing, and that's great. But you also learn a lot from other people. So get more people in here. I want this thing to grow. I want this thing to take off. More people, the better. Because we get a community here that hopefully, grows with one another. And I guarantee you there's a lot of amazing people you can meet. So let's grow something here. That's what I would ask of you guys. If you guys want to do me a favor and if you guys want to get more value, then please share this. Get people in here. I'm trying so myself as well. So I don't think you're the only one. But I think we can make this thing even better. Always growing, right? Yes, Byman is right. Awesome. New Age leader, inspiring person like Neil Donald Walsh. I'll definitely check them out. Remind me again, send me a message on Quora or comment it on the video so I have it somewhere, because I'm pretty sure that this chat will go away and I might not remember by the end of it. So just let me know. And Sam Hunter is in here. Hi Sam, we talked before. How are you, man? Glad to see you here. Byman is right. Awesome. Good. Half Moroccan. Okay, where are you from, Byman? Are you from Morocco or are you from the US? Your last name sounds also a bit I don't want to say foreign because even I'm foreign in US terms, but like something I've not heard before. Where are you from? I'd love to know where you guys are from. I live in Berlin. You're actually then just 3 hours away from me. That's pretty awesome. I'm in Hanover, near Hanover. It's 3 hours west. I had to do a little northeast, west and south thing. Hey, Byman, Sam, anyone who just joined in the chat or in the stream, if you have anything you want to know, let me know. The reason we talked about positivity earlier was because Beryl was so nice and asked about this stuff and, you know, kind of lead me on here. Otherwise, I'm just blabbering on about random stuff. If you guys have questions, let me know. We still have about, 10-15 minutes here. I still can answer 2 or 3 questions, depending on how much I have to say about them. So just lay it on me. Get your free value here. And Beryl's from the Netherlands. Awesome. And ja, ich spreche Deutsch and English. Y un poco español, pero it's been a while since I spoke Spanish, so it's pretty bad. But yeah, I do speak German fluently. I mean, I live in Germany. I was born here. I am German, so, native speaker. Although I'm pretty sure by this point my English is better than my German. Used to be that I had 2 accents. While I spoke German, I had an American accent. While I spoke English, I had a German accent. And I had a bit of an identity crisis there. But it's very difficult when you're doing 2 languages at the same time. You lose a lot of vocabulary in one language because your main focus is still on one language, and it's difficult. It's difficult to keep both of them on the same level. Okay, Sam asks, what are your thoughts on negative self-talk? I want to go back to the point I said earlier. It's always black and white. It's always gray. There's never, I don't want to say negative self-talk is always bad. There are definite times and definite places where negative self-talk can really kick you in the ass and can really get you moving. That's what I meant by kicking the ass. Not negatively, but positively. Positively motivating you to do something. For example, some days I'll realize that I haven't done much that day. And then I talk shit about myself. I say, dude, you suck. Look at everything you're not doing. You're an awful person. You're not doing what you said you would do. You're not doing shit. You're just wasting time. And that's negative self-talk. Now, I'm not talking negatively about myself. I'm just talking negatively about what I'm doing. Because that's what's current. Right? I wasn't an asshole when I didn't do stuff. I just didn't do stuff. That's the main point there. And that can really kick me in the ass. Other times, I may be an asshole. And that can really inspire me to be a better person. So in those cases, negative self-talk can be very beneficial. But, and here comes a big but with this, negative self-talk is very situational. Positive self-talk has a lot more benefits just because there's so many negative influences already in your life that you're getting very negative. And as I mentioned earlier, if you guys were here for that, your general state is one of positivity. So when you add negative self-talk, constant negative self-talk, you're going down from who you actually are. You're just adding more bullshit on top of that, which brings you further away from yourself. And in that case, most negative self-talk is bad. Some people really get motivated by negativity. Personally, I'm not one of them. I would rather see only the positive sides of the world and get motivated by that. Some negative stuff, sure, but not a lot. But when you're asking about, 1 second here. Okay. So, but when you're talking negatively about who you are, your specific, your characteristics, your confidence, your if you're a nice person, if you're a confident person, if you're a hardworking person, you need to be more specific about those things. Now, I'm not telling you to stop talking natively about that, but be more specific. Are you actually an unproductive person? Are you actually an unconfident person? Don't generalize. Be specific. In what situations were you not confident? And again, blame or not blame the situation, but look at the situation and then see if that can be generalized to being unconfident. Most of the time you realize that you're just assuming you're not confident because you were unconfident in a lot of situations. But that doesn't make you a bad person or an unconfident person. That just means in those situations you were not confident. So once you recognize that, once you recognize the specific situations, the details of which, you can also have a different point of view upon it. Let's see if I can give you guys a good example on that. Let's say you're at a bar and you're trying to hit up a girl. I'm just using girl because I'm a guy, so it's more natural to me to hit up girls. Let's say you hit up a girl. Or let's just say you're at a bar and you hit up someone. You know, you try to hit on someone, try to get their number. And you go there and you make an ass of yourself. You're really screwing up. Now, you go back to your chair or to the bar or wherever you were, and the self-talk starts. You're saying, oh my gosh, I'm not confident, I can never get anyone, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm a bad person, and you're rattling on and on and on and on about these things. But that one situation where you didn't get the number, where you made an ass of yourself, doesn't mean you're ugly, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, it doesn't mean you're unconfident, it doesn't mean shit. It just means you fucked up once. Okay, so what? That doesn't mean anything else. You're generalizing a lot of this negative self-talk. A lot of the negative self-talk only happens because you're not being specific. This is so much easier just to, open a certain category, put yourself in that category and close it again and be done with it all. We love to doing that. We love doing that with other people. Oh, that person is nice, he's confident, but he's a little bit shy. Bam. Suddenly we have an image of that person in our heads. It just makes things easier. But when you're talking about yourself, negatively or positively, be specific. When you're positively talking, you can generalize. But don't generalize too much either, because otherwise this grows into arrogance. Just because you got one number doesn't mean you're God at hitting up people. It doesn't mean you can get every number you want, but it means you might be pretty good at getting a number. Like I said, there's a balance in these things, not just black and white. Most of the time, negative self-talk is just generalization. You're not being specific about the events. You're trying to make it easy on yourself and stereotype yourself. And in those cases, it's not that good. If you're not getting motivated by it, then there's no point to self-talking in generalized ways, because it's just lying to yourself. That's all it is. In those cases, be specific. But when you're positive, you can be general. But in negative cases that are not doing anything for you, stop generalizing and just be specific about the things that actually happened. And if you don't know anymore what happened, if you're blaming yourself for being an ass 10 years ago and with a certain person, you don't even remember what happened, then why are you calling yourself an ass? You don't know. You don't even remember. Just let it go. Okay, we have 358 org in here. What's so good about being happy? Emotional makes us feel instead of think. And I definitely agree with you. You don't have to be happy all the time. Fuck being happy all the time. Sometimes I love just being sad and crying or being really angry, and I really enjoy that. Which is kind of a paradox, but you don't have to be happy all the time. Again, it's not all black and white. If you want to feel miserable, there's no one stopping you. You can feel miserable all you want. I'm not judging. If you want to feel miserable, go right ahead. Feel miserable. Feel afraid. Feel angry. Feel sad. Do whatever you want to do. This is your life. No one can tell you what to do. If you like not being happy, then don't be happy. I'm just offering my tips on how I view the world, and a lot of people like being happy because they enjoy it a lot more. Now, joy is, you can enjoy being sad too, or being angry. There's masochistic people all over the world that enjoy the craziest things. It's not something I enjoy, but it might be something you enjoy. And I would have to say, for this, that some of the negative things that happened in my life, some of the negative emotions, were the best times of my life. As weird as that sounds. Okay, and Sam asked more, thanks for that feedback. I know we're short on time, but would you say that discipline is more effective than motivation? Like waiting for inspiration and getting pumped up rather than systematically. Being able to follow through on things regardless of how you're feeling at the moment. Would you say discipline is more effective than motivation? No, I wouldn't. I would say motivation is definitely a lot more effective. When you're really motivated, you get a lot more done on a lot less time. So in those terms, being very specific, I would say being motivated is definitely more effective. But that's short term. When we're talking long term, about the course of a year, or the course of a couple of years, the course of your life, being disciplined is definitely more effective. When you're focusing on the now, I would get a lot more done if I was more motivated. Guaranteed, 100%. Discipline doesn't do shit for me in the moment. But over the course of the year, motivation won't have done anything for me. If I look at what motivation does over the course of the year in comparison to what discipline does over the course of the year, discipline wins the cake by a long shot. But in the moment, motivation always wins. Just because in that moment when you're feeling motivated, you work, you get a lot of stuff done. Even if it's not work, you motivate to win at the video game, motivated to watch that next season or the next episode of the show. You're motivated and you get things done because you don't think. Discipline comes in for the times that you're not motivated, which is, like it's raining or it's not raining. Either you're motivated or you're disciplined, or you don't do anything at all. So discipline comes in all the other times. And now you can tell me, do you feel motivated more often in your life or disciplined more often in your life? Personally, I would say if I could feel motivated 24/7, I would choose that over discipline every day. For sure. I mean, who wouldn't? But I know that motivation doesn't work that way. So I work on my discipline. So I can bridge those times where I'm not motivated and I can still get my stuff done because I have to. I can't just rely on motivation. In that case, discipline is a lot more effective just because you don't, you're not focused on the now. You know that you can do things regardless of how you feel. But if you can be motivated, then choose motivation. It'll make things a lot easier. Yeah, definitely. Motivation is definitely effective in the short term, but you just can't count on it. You can't count on the long term. And discipline, honestly, if you're thinking about right now, this very moment, how's discipline making you feel right now? Probably not at all, right? You're not connecting any emotion with discipline. Discipline is the long-term stuff. Discipline is just doing it whether you said it or not, but it doesn't do anything for you right now. Either you do it or you don't. Discipline there or not there, doesn't really matter. Over the course of the long term, you label that as discipline. But in the end, it was just a bunch of small choices that you made on doing it now. Motivation, on the other hand, if you're saying, hey, I feel motivated right now, you instantly feel that, you instantly are motivated, whatever that feeling is for you. For me, it's a pretty awesome feeling. And you get a lot of stuff done. But that was through motivation, not through your choice. That was because you felt inspired to do it. And I would take inspiration, motivation any day if I could. Okay. We're about out of time, but I feel like going a little bit longer. So whoever gets the next question in, that's the last question I'll take for today. But I want to take one more. So first come, first serve. Let me know. And I'll wait here until I get one in. So if I don't get one in right away, then we'll just chill here for a little bit. Maybe let you guys finish writing some stuff down. Maybe, you know, just being here, waiting for me to come up with something interesting to say instead of you asking a nice question. But yeah, I just want to talk a bit more. I don't want to end this right now. So let's go. Who wants something answered? Hit me. Come on. I'm still here. Give me something. There we go, Sam said something. Sam, how would you advise a man to tap more into his masculine energy if he's already tied into his, and I'm assuming the rest of that says feminine energy. Yep, okay. Before I answer this, I want to make very clear that I'm talking about energies, not about the sexes. I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about masculine and feminine energies. I'm not saying men have more masculine energy. I'm not saying women have more feminine energy. I'm just talking about the energies here. So I want to make that very clear so I don't have to, you know, get into any arguments later on about this. Different people have different forms. Some people have more masculine, some have more feminine. We all have both. Just want to make that clear for those of you who don't know the difference. That being said, if you as a man or as a woman want to tap more into your masculine energy, you have to take charge more. You have to make more decisions. I know sometimes this is hard. I know you don't always want to make decisions. I know sometimes it's easier to just, you know, float along. But if you want to tap more into your masculine energy, you have to take a stand. You have to take charge. You have to be accountable and just do it. Just get it done. Make the decision that no one wants to make. Now, how do you do that? Because that's a lot, you know, it sounds very vague, and it is. So how do you actually go about doing that? So when you're in a relationship, that means that you're taking charge for once. That you're saying, you know what, no, we'll go eat there. Done deal. So the best way to do that is to surprise your date. To surprise the person. Plan a date. Plan something out. And then take your girl or your man there. And just do it. Don't ask them for permission. Don't ask them for their ideas. Just do it. Take charge. At the job, do the same thing. If you have some spare time to do, take charge. Do something more. Do something inspirational. You know, maybe it'll backfire. Okay. But, you know, make a decision on something. In life, make a decision on some difficult problem and just stick with that decision. Don't waver. Make a choice. When you're out in public, make a choice. Don't ask yourself, oh, I don't want, no, what do I feel like doing? What do I want to do? Oh, I can't decide. The feminine energy is very good at really tapping into their emotions and really feeling what they want and then going with those feelings. Masculine energy is more direct and saying, you know what, we'll just do this. I don't care how I feel. I'm a man. Masculine energy, masculine stuff, this is what we'll do. So, if you want to tap more into that, then just make choices. Don't think too long about it. Don't feel. Just make a choice. Just out of the blue. Just bam. We'll do that. We'll decide something new. See how it goes. Just do it. Whatever happens, happens. The other way to get more masculine energy going is to be more logical. Just logically reason yourself through some things. Solve a problem. Solve a complex math problem. Solve a problem in a very logical way. Try to tap more into that side of things. More into A, B, C type thinking. And just to clarify for those who are asking what's the feminine energy, if that's the masculine energy, feminine energy is a lot more chaotic, but a lot more powerful. You recognize this yourself, you're overrun by your emotions a lot. Feminine energy, much more powerful than masculine energy. Masculine energy is more of the control freak, feminine energy is more of the emotional train wreck. That's just overpowering the control freak anytime. So masculine energy, to tap into that, take control, take charge, make a decision. The best way to, if you want to look for people with a lot of masculine energy, I recommend a guy by the name of Joko Willink. He used to be a military guy, very buff dude. He also does a lot of podcasts. You see him on YouTube. Let me just type his name into the chat for you people interested. But this guy, Joko Willink, I'm not sure if it's Willink with a CK or just a K. I hope I said that right. But if you want to know more about your masculine energy, definitely recommend that guy, because he talks a lot about being a man and what it takes to be a good man, a superior man. Not superior as in terms of superior men and women, but superior man in terms of who you were before. Superior to your old self. Former Navy SEAL. There you go. So you already know him. Listen to his stuff more. Really awesome guy. Okay. I think that's it for today's stream. As a favor from you guys, get more people in here. We're at 4 people again. I want more people in here just so we have more different questions. Because a lot of people have a lot of different questions. And if you guys have any people to share this with, just please share it. I'm not telling you to get more people in here, but if you have someone to share this with, please do. I would love to get more people in here. Okay, that's it from me. Leave a like, subscribe, all the random stuff, and come back next week. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. CEST is the next stream. I'll try to make an announcement this time because I just figured out you can do that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. And now you get me awkwardly watch to end the stream while I try to find the stop streaming button until this ends. Alright people, see you next time.